There is a sickness in the modern political narrative. A desperate, delusional need to turn every criminal into a saint. And make every police interaction into a morality play of some kind. We have the footage. It's over. The narrative is dead. For days, the media has been gaslighting you. They told you that an innocent nurse was silenced by the police. They told you that he was a martyr for the cause, just holding his cell phone. And then reality drops from all the angles that the media does not want to show us. And what do we find out when we get those angles? We find out that this was not a protester holding a sign. We, those of us who aren't blind or brain dead, can clearly see a combatant brandishing a firearm. We saw a man track police officers, interfere with a lawful investigation, and then, based on this damning evidence, unequivocally open fire. That is not a protest. That is an assassination attempt. The modern left operates on a toddler's understanding of violence. They believe that they have the moral right to punch you, but you don't have the physical right to stop them. They believe they can disrupt, harass, and threaten armed officers, but if those officers respond with force, suddenly then it becomes oppression. I can't even call them people. These refuse to accept reality. You do not get to bring a gun to a fist fight that you started. You do not get to pull a trigger and then cry victim when the return fire hits you? Bullshit. You do not get to mock your opponent's martyrs and then bitch when they mock yours. For God's sake, 56 some people died while in ICE custody under Obama's 2 terms. Where was your outrage then? Or when the same stormtroopers under Biden were locking up the elderly in jail for not wearing masks. Where were you then? Illegal immigration is a crime. Investigating a crime is the job of the police. If you decide to insert yourself into that equation with a weapon, you have ceased to be a citizen. You have now become an active threat. The moment you draw a piece, you forfeit your right to the rest of your day. But the madness of why? Why defend him? Why is the media twisting itself into knots over this guy to defend a guy who is clearly in the wrong? Clearly, he is in the wrong. I'll tell you why. Willful, criminal, obscurity. He is their smoke, so you do not see the fire that they are starting in your house. He was not holding a water bottle. That is not a cell phone in his hand. This is not a cell phone, you idiots. But let's just look at who is calling for this disruption. The primary architect of this incident is the jackass governor Tim Walz. A man currently drowning in scandals and presiding over what the DOJ is calling the largest fraud network in American history. And surprise, surprise, it's the Democrats stealing your money alongside the migrants and illegals that they imported. We are talking about billions in taxpayer dollars funneled into fake care facilities, thousands of them. And these are run by unvetted migrants exploiting a system that Tim Waltz refuses to police. Because the reality of the situation is that he needs the chaos. He needs you talking about police brutality so you don't then talk about state corruption and the rot within his own party. He needs these protesters in the street causing havoc because as long as the streets are burning, nobody is digging through the books on his accounts. They are using this gunman as a human shield for their own crimes. And that should just sum up reality, but it leads us to the left's hypocrisy of violence. They asked for this. The left has spent years normalizing political violence, normalizing their ilk assassinating their political opponents on the opposing side. They told you to get in their faces. They told you no justice, no peace. They cheered when cities burned. They bailed out rioters. They normalized the idea that their rage justifies any action. Well, surprise fucking surprise. When you tell a generation of activists that they are soldiers in a holy war, eventually one of them is going to believe you. One of them is going to pull a gun, and he is going to find out that the real world operates under physics, not safe spaces. But you see, they want this. They want this worse than anything. They're down bad for this, hardcore. They want their political opponents dead. And what did we do to deserve such ire? We voted. Damn us. We are not equal minds here. We are not equal levels of intelligence in this civilizational argument. Hell, we cannot even have a civil dialogue or argument on this matter because these people never grew up and developed the logic and reasoning skills to be an adult and entertain a civil discourse. They are not capable of rational, coherent thoughts because they are still mentally children. And you know what? There is a just glaring message for all of the people watching this who still think that the media is telling them the truth. To the rest of you delusional morons that think that anyone on the left is innocent in this, you are defending a domestic terrorist. You are weeping for a man who tried to murder civil servants. The actions he took equate to the deserved ramifications of being removed from society. It does not matter that he was a nurse. The bastard had it coming. And if you are sitting there defending him, then there is no hope for you. You are beyond the point of saving if this is what you think is justice, if this is what you think the reality that you live in, the rules that it should operate under. By taking the position of defending him, you are saying that you would do the exact same thing. If you justify this, you have crossed the line from observer to accomplice. You are cheering for your own destruction because the TV told you it was virtuous. These ramifications occur because of the actions he took, and you're saying that you support his actions. You are therefore just as much to blame for this man's death as he himself, if that is the case. Because it's your thought process that got this man killed. Your thought process got this man killed because it infected his mind. Stop letting these idiots gaslight you. A hero saves lives. A domestic terrorist threatens them. They are defending him because they're terrified. They are terrified that if you see the truth about the gunmen, you might start looking for the truth about the governor. They're terrified that you might start looking for the truth about their entire political apparatus. This footage does not lie. The fraud does not lie. They are not the resistance. They are criminals who are willing to let their own foot soldiers die to cover their tracks. Open your eyes. Why do you have any loyalty to these people when they do not give a damn about you? Lastly, to the leftists, your martyr has not shaken us. He has empowered us to hold you to the standards that you set.
If you had kept a better eye on the girl, none of this would have happened. Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
He died. He died at the hands of
Kimmer!